Okay. 8-4, sine and cosine. So we started off just introducing tangents so that you wouldn't have to worry about figuring out which formula to use. Okay, so yesterday you didn't have to worry about which formula you had to use. All you had to concentrate was on how to solve the problems. Now that you know how to solve the problems, we're going to give you the other two formulas, which is sine and cosine. So now your job is to make sure you're using the right formula first. After that, the questions are going to be solved the exact same way you did it yesterday. So sine formula is sine of theta, opposite over hypotenuse, and cosine is cos of theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So let's just go straight into our first example so you can see how to figure out which formula to use. Okay, that angle is going to be 22. This is 9, and that's x. So, identify what kinds of parts of the triangle you have. This is obviously your theta. This is your hypotenuse. A lot of people confuse the hypotenuse with the adjacent leg because both of them are next to the angle. But one of them is a hypotenuse and one of them is an adjacent leg. Don't ever confuse the hypotenuse with the adjacent side. So that's your hypotenuse, and that is your opposite side. So since I have an O and an H, I'm going to use the sine formula. So this is going to be sine of theta equals O over H. My angle is 22. My opposite is 9. And my hypotenuse is x. Now go back to yesterday's notes. How do you solve the problem when x is on bottom? And I gave you a little shortcut. All you have to do is switch these two things. So x equals 9 divided by sine of 22, which equals, apparently I didn't write it down last year. So 9 divided by sine of 22, 24.03. Okay. Let me give you another example of a sine problem, but one where the triangle might look a little different. Okay. Let's say this is 17 degrees. And this is 12, and that's x. So again, identify the parts of your triangle. Here's my 90-degree angle. That makes this my hypotenuse. And this is opposite of the angle, so it's an O. O and H means you're going to use the sine formula. So sine of, my angle is 17. My opposite is x, and my hypotenuse is 12. To solve the problem when x is on top, it's as easy as multiplication. So x equals 12 sine of 17. 3.51. So that's the sine formula. It works exactly like the tangent formula, except you use it when you have the O and the H instead of the O and the A. Alright, let's look at some tangent examples. Oh, not sorry, tangent cosine examples. Okay. If this is 33, and this is x, and this is 5. Which one of the formulas are you going to use? Well, if this is my angle, here's my 90-degree angle, so that's my hypotenuse, and this is adjacent. So We have the A and the H. Look back up here. The A and the H means I'm going to use cosine. So cosine of, my angle is 33. The adjacent leg is 5. And the hypotenuse is x. Again, to solve it when x is in the bottom, all you do is switch these two. So I get x equals 5 divided by cosine of 33. So I type 5 divided by cosine of 33. And I get 5.96. Pretty easy so far? Let me give you one more and we might have some 7-minute notes tonight. Last example. Okay, again, always identify the hypotenuse first. This one's the hypotenuse. That makes this my adjacent leg. Okay, if you notice on every single one of these examples, I always started with the hypotenuse. Identify the hypotenuse first so you don't mix it up with the adjacent leg. Again, I have A and H, so I'm going to use cosine. My angle is 49. My adjacent is x, and my hypotenuse is 52. To solve it when x is on top, it's x divided by 52, so the opposite of that is multiplication. So x equals 52 times cosine of 49, and you get 34.11. And I think that's all the notes. I think you have 2 examples for both of the formulas. I think that'll be fine. Y'all did great yesterday, so I think you'll do fine with this. For those of you who haven't been on Edmodo in a while, I would go check it out. I do have something there for you that you need to look at. Okay, bye.